Adelaide 36ers tonight. Both teams are coming off that heartbreaking overtime losses, so they will be at it tonight to get the win. For the Hawks, they'll be hoping Tyler Harvey and Peyton Siva can continue their form of last week. Tyler coming off a season high 5 3-pointers with 21 points, and Peyton had a career high 11 assists. Both will be huge tonight. In massive news, the NBL leading scorer Craig Randall will not play tonight. He has a bruised sternum, meaning the 36ers will have to have changed their starting five for the first time in NBL 23. The stage is set for a classic, and to break it all down, we have three of the best in the business, and let's go to them now. Alistair Nicholson, Damon Lowry, Peter Hurley. Hello, boys.
Brad, so good to be with you. Unfortunately, Craig Randall not there tonight, but what can the Adelaide 36ers produce? Pete Hawley, Damon Lowry, what a round of basketball we've come off. Let's hope more of the same.
Yeah, no, Craig Randall out with a bruised sternum, but look, plenty of talent on this Adelaide team, and these are two teams hungry for a win. As Brad said, they're coming off overtime losses. The Illawarra Hawks trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. The Adelaide 36ers, they just want to win some ball games. There was all the talk of championship or bust. Let's see how they respond tonight.
Craig Randall, he's still pretty confident his side can get the job done in his absence, but he is a star of this competition. We've seen what he can do. We wait to see who can step up in his absence, but a highly significant loss, Dane.
Yep, 21 points a game. With this team they have, I don't see a problem with them 21 points being divided. Robert Franks, he will step up, he will produce more. Same Antonius Cleveland, same with DJ Johnson. So I think that 21 will get spread out amongst the rest of the boys.
Because if you take a look at it at the moment, for the Adelaide 36ers, it has been a bit of a one-man show, Pete. And if you look at the numbers of some of the players Damon just mentioned throughout the course of this season, they're nowhere near the output of Randall, and this is the time that they need to find something.
Well, exactly right. In terms of who's going to step up, but you expect teams loaded with talent like Adelaide, everyone has to make sacrifices. Robert Franks is an MVP caliber player for Brisbane last season. With Antonius Cleveland, he was huge on both ends for the Hawks. Daniel Johnson, when's the last time he averaged in single figures during a season? Mitch McCarron can score when he has to, but likes to facilitate. As Damon said, I think there's no problem with the depth of talent and scoring ability on this roster without Craig Randall to put up a big number tonight.
I'll tell you what, Sam Froling had an absolutely outstanding match. Unfortunately, the Illawarra Hawks unable to get the win against Melbourne United, but what a thrilling game that was in what was a round of thrillers.
Sam was very good, 27 and 12 or 25 and 12, 17 boards, whatever he had. It was a great performance by him, and what we need out of Sam is just consistency. We know he's capable of that, but sometimes he kind of goes in and out of games. So tonight especially, he needs to be at his best.
This is the late moment from Rattan Mays, how that hurt the Hawks, and they're just desperate for a win. They've lost their last 6 games after that win over Southeast Melbourne early in the season. Peyton Siva, well, he's finding his feet nicely now at the Illawarra Hawks, and significant in for them. They brought him with Justin Robinson going down injured early in the season. He's the man to fill the void.
He was outstanding against Melbourne United, except for shooting the ball. That's going to come. He's still in the country under 2 weeks, so still trying to find his legs underneath him. The key for Peyton Siva is staying healthy. I think if he can stay healthy, he'll be really good. I love seeing this right here. Justin Robinson, he's out for an extended period of time, but he's going to be in there. He's trying to continue to lead as we look at their champion starting 5. Peyton Siva, Tyler Harvey. Good to see him find some form. He had 10 first quarter points and then didn't get a shot up basically in the second quarter. We'll see how he goes. But Sam Froling, I liked how they used him last week. Let's see if they try to put him in those positions to be successful tonight.
And the champion starting 5 for the Adelaide 36ers with that forced change. Drimick comes into the starting 5.
Anthony had a good game last week, so he's no stranger to the league. Played well at Brisbane last year, so him coming into the lineup, give them extra defensive punch, a little bit more spark. So we'll see how the team plays and how they gel with the loss of Craig today.
So we're about to go live from the Wollongong Entertainment Centre. Thursday night hoops as part of a double-header. Later on it is the Perth Wildcats taking on the Tasmania Jack Jumpers. 2 teams here coming off overtime thrillers.
Let's just keep an eye on this first quarter, especially the first couple of minutes. Number 0, Robert Franks. Let's see how much they try and make him a focal point.
Mark, level. AC, come closer. Wait.
The Hawks Hawks will have first possession through Peyton Seaver. Harvey goes to work, and the first shot of the night goes for Tyler Harvey.
Hadn't floater, and I knew that Antonius Cleveland, I figured he would go to Tyler to start the games, considering they battled all of last year together. I'm surprised it was that easy for Tyler.
21 points against Melbourne United for Tyler Harvey. 5 of 11 from outside the arc, but only 1 of 7 from inside.
Well, that's a really good start for the 36ers. The play was designed to try and get Robert Franks to seal underneath, as we potentially thought. And this is the way it's going to shape up. These are the 2 worst defensive teams in the competition. Adelaide allowing 93.4 points per game, and the Hawks are second worst at 88. Someone's going to have to play defense tonight. And so far, we've got an open 3 ball and 2 layups for Tyler Harvey.
Great pass by Peyton. Peyton is a point guard. The guy's just a distributor, just like Justin Robinson was before he got hurt. Peyton makes this team go with his playmaking ability.
That's making Johnson stretch. He does well not to concede the backcourt violation there in the end, but the Hawks get hold of it. Seaver from outside can't get it to go. Cleveland.
There's your matchup. That's what you're talking about, Pete. There's your matchup. You got to go to Rob Franks. Another former teammates battling against each other. Ding just giving up too much size, I think. So that should be a focal point for the 36ers.
There's the Amy replay of that floater. And there's another one, that little pass. Cleveland lost Tyler Harvey, back-to-back floaters. And you're right, Robert Franks averaged 18 points a game, 9 rebounds for the Bullets, shot for 3 at almost 40%. Now, you're going to have a dip when you come onto a team with so much talent. DJ tries to go back-to-back, and that's a really good start for Daniel Johnson.
DJ heard what you said. Averaging single figures is not what I like to do.
Right, Robert Franks averaged 18 points a game, 9 rebounds for the Bullets, shot for 3 at almost 40%. Now, you're going to have a dip when you come onto a team with so much talent. DJ tries to go back-to-back, and that's a really good start for Daniel Johnson.
DJ heard what you said. Averaging single figures is not what I like to do.
Yes, with Franks. Seaver likes the look of this. Long. 63 three-pointers he made last season for the Bullets, Robert Franks. 27 games, 4 in 5 games so far this season, to underline your point, Pete.
It's pretty simple. Right now they're trying to look like they're feeding it.
About the 36ers and how they team and how they play as a team with Craig Randall in there being a little bit ball dominant. What you don't want to have happen if you're Craig Randall, if the 36ers play really good without you. Because now questions may be asked. That's all I'm saying, please.
Well, players do always feel like that deep down, but look, they've got the talent, and let's not forget last time these 2 teams played, Craig Randall had 17 points in the 4th quarter and put the game to bed. That's what he does. He's a human torch. He can light it up at any moment, so they'll definitely be missing him tonight. The best part about it is, as you saw his tweet, he knows there's enough talent there without him to get the job done. Let's just see how they go about trying to do that. Defensively, they want to lock in a lot better.
You can hear Jacob Jackomas. He's firing up his players. They need a bit of a fire up. Hockey Den on the right of screen there, getting lots of minutes at the start of the season, but not so much now.
No, none of the main troops are in town. Lockie Dent's apprenticeship looks like it's come to an end. But valuable minutes that he got into him, though. So if anything happened, you need to get Lockie out there. They got confidence. He's probably the best 3-point shooter if you go by the stats.
Franks 11 points, 9 rebounds. This is Southeast Melbourne on Sunday. And it's one here and an early 5-point lead for the 36ers. Bullock thought about it momentarily. Will go this time. It's not dropping at the moment for the Hawks, but Seaver will give him another chance. Out of the line.
Penetration by Peyton. Bit of a scramble on offense, broken play. And that's one good thing about Peyton is he can make something happen. Mitch just kind of gave up and played a little bit of O-line defense just then, but Peyton got himself to the strike. Peyton can score, Pete, but I don't know from a three-point line if that's what he really, he's never been known for that. Streaky at best, but it's good to see him attacking the rim.
He shot the ball pretty well when he got healthy for the Breakers last season, but you're right, it's more of him trying to facilitate, put the ball on the floor. It's going to take a while for him to find his strike. He's just shooting 25% so far. Maybe that'll help seeing one go down from the free throw line. I think the best part about it is talking to Jacob Jacomas in preseason with Justin Robertson signing. It was all about getting Tyler Harvey to find his rhythm off the ball. When he got hurt, Tyler Harvey got the ball back in his hands and said, look, you need to help set up the offense and get your own. Now he can focus on just the ladder, and hopefully Peyton Seaver can get everybody else involved.
Brad Rosen's courtside. Brad, great to have you with us. What are your early impressions?
Yeah, Jacob is absolutely filthy at his team. You can see him dancing up and down the sideline, and in that timeout, he said we had absolutely no pop, no energy whatsoever. We can score whenever we like, but you have to create your own energy. Look for them to lift.
That was real close for Cleveland there. Just got called for the bump before Tyler Harvey got the little chicken wing. That would have been an offensive foul, but having a look here, refuses the screen. Foul there, and then that chicken wing would have been called had he not made the contact first.
Harvey looking to get busy again. Seaver not reading what Harvey was selling. So much expected of the 36ers this season with their roster and that performance against the Suns in the US to really produce this season, but early days still. Franks from the elbow.
See, it's offensive possessions like that. When you look and you say, oh, 36 has got a lot of talent. We can just give the ball to anybody. But the offense is stagnant. So now you got just watch one guy go one-on-one and hope he makes a shot.
What a pass from Robert Franks. Good trail from Anthony Drimmick. Not going to get any stat for it, but Mitch McCarron running the lanes and kicking it ahead. We don't often see that. You've got a point guard who can maybe draw the defense. You're taught to try and draw the defense before you pass. He got rid of it because Franks is a playmaker, and a little finish up from Anthony Drimmick. And on the Phoenix Suns wing, because it's always going to get brought back to that. It's no surprise when you got more spacing on the NBA floor to be able to play when you've got so much talent like this. You come back to the NBL when things are smaller, you can congest the keyway. Executing on the offensive end becomes so crucial to your success. You can't just go out there and play. You've got to execute on the offensive end.
George King checks in. He's been in foul trouble in almost every game he's played in. He needs to stay out of foul trouble. Last game, he got himself benched kind of early. He was out there tackling people, but we just need George to provide some scoring points for this Hawks team that's struggling to score.
Had such a promising start to the season too, Damon. He was averaging over 18 points a game for the first three. Matiang, fed by Seaver, works hard underneath and comes up with the bucket.
Old college teammates, son. That connection going. Good block there from Mathiang.
Oh, that's playing both ends of the floor. Nice running the floor. Put it up for him.
Here is King. Great D from McCarron. Drimmick confronted. Seaver wins it back. He wants support.
Great decision.
Harvey the three. Doesn't get the favourable roll. And McCarron. Transition.
Well, this is a pickup game vibe.
Cleveland.
A lot of pickup game vibes to this. Well, right on cue. There you go.
All of a sudden, just 1 point in it as Harvey has made a very promising start here.
Well, let's just get up and down then. Let's let our offense be our defense. I'll tell you one thing I like to see in that previous possession. Big Mango got the ball down low. He was patient. He didn't rush to kick the ball back out. Took his time and made a good post move and got a bucket. We don't see enough of that out of the big guys. Sam Farley can take a page out of that book as well.
So Robert Franks This is what he had to say about his leadership responsibilities within the 36ers lineup this season.
You know, this year, like, I'm really taking on that challenge. I know what I'm capable of, especially in this league. I just know that, you know, it's going to be times where I just need to be a leader for the guys, and I need to do something else, and I'm trying to, like, preach that with everybody. We got DJ. He's a 2010 guy in this league, you know, Mac, one of the best point guards. So we have a lot of different pieces, and if we can all put it together, I feel like everybody is going to be able to show their work, if that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
Well, it does, and I said in the preseason with how much talent this Adelaide roster has, if they have anyone that averages over around 18 points a game, I don't think they're as successful as they can be. Now, they're going to have nights where a guy like Craig Randall will put up 40, but I think they've got enough talent that every single matchup they go into it thinking, where is their best mismatch? Like, is it Robert Franks' night that we really try and feed him? Is this the night we say, Craig Randall, try and get going, get as hot as you can? Maybe it's okay, we go to Daniel Johnson, they're a bit slower on the inside. Let's try and get our bigs in, their bigs in foul trouble through DJ. They've got so many different avenues to work with, and it's going to be a work in progress.
Let's go down to Brad Rosen courtside. Brad.
Yeah, just listening to the CJ there, it's no shock. It was all about Tyler Harvey, guys. He's got 7 points out of the 11. No more shots for this quarter, all over him.
Frank's working hard, using McCarron.
That's twice the 36ers have kept it real simple. They went 4 out, 1 in pretty much, and they basically said whoever Deng Deng is guarding is who we're putting inside, and we don't trust him to guard DJ. If we look at that matchup, so Deng Deng is being targeted right now.
Well, he is. It's also, yes, ball's whipping around the floor, but the player movement. You see the little cut from Mitch McCarron, Anthony Drimick, the trailing before. Down the floor, everybody's moving in. We talk about the depth of the roster. Anthony Drimick's a guy who, when healthy, can play 25 plus minutes a game. Sunday Jets, we've seen him start play that many minutes, if not more. I think Marshall, phenomenal player, deserves minutes the way he's been playing as well. Kai Sotto, another one, not playing a whole lot. Galloway, Harris. You can pick anyone and make an argument they should be playing a lot more.
36ers. Frank's underneath, the left hand.
I love this. This is all about finding the mismatch. Not just any mismatch. I'm talking about the grotesque mismatch. They come down, take their time, they go, wait a minute, is that Alex Madrone? You're trying to guard Robert Franks? We giving the ball to him. It's simple basketball. Sometimes we complicate it way too much.
Conrad and Madronya checking into the game. Seaver, Steele, Cleveland running the floor. Detch goes up, lays it in.
This is a dangerous 4 minutes for the Hawks. This is when you look up now and Madronya's on the court. Tim Conrad got a DNP last game. And I don't know, like the game is still close, and sometimes coaches can be a little bit loose with their substitutions and just kind of almost gift minutes, with all due respect to these two guys. But I'm just saying, this is a dangerous 4 minutes for the Hawks.
Brad Rosen. Brad in just a sec. Now's not a bad time. You go down courtside, Brad. Back to Brad. Pulling the trigger on that 3 ball. The Hawks, but 1 of 6, 16.7% through the opening 6 minutes.
Damon mentioned it. Look, you've got Tyler Harvey, you've got George King. He's struggled a little bit with Peyton Seaver. Sam Froling is coming off a monster performance. He's someone, he hasn't taken a shot. There are certain times where he can be super successful in this league. When you throw it to him at the high post, you let him fake the handoff, get downhill to his left hand. He finishes extremely well with both hands in the paint. I think at times they underutilise what he can do on the offensive end. For his rookie year, there were times where he didn't need the ball. He'll find his own off dump-offs, offensive rebounds. I think he's now earned the right to be force-fed the ball, especially in the first quarter, and say, where do you think you're best, at your best, and we'll give you the rock there.
Detch just kept it in. Sotto kicked it out. Oh, they've started really well here.
That man has Robert Franks. So we went off the top, up to 8 points now.
2 assists as well for Franks. Outside, doesn't go from Conrad. Another missed attempt. Sunday Dets. Seaver comes up with the rebound. Makes his way to the paint, uses Conrad. Nice play.
Beautiful. That's the Hawks' best offense. Getting to stop, getting out in transition, Peyton Seaver making decisions. Timmy's out there clearly to take shots. He cannot turn down any open shots. He has to take those. But I'm looking at the other three guys. Looking at Madronia, I'm looking at Mango, and I'm looking at Wani Swaka the Bullet. And between those three guys, they have not produced enough points for this team.
No, well, they haven't. I mean, you look at a team that's really struggled to score the ball. I mean, they had that double overtime effort against United where they looked like they could score at will, but over the course of the whole season, Tyler Harvey, 14 points a game. George King, as you mentioned, 18 points per game in the first three and just single digits in his last 5 games. He's one that you bring in and he needs to be able to score the ball. Froling, just 11 points. Mathiang doesn't play a whole lot. Deng Deng, 7.8. So they need to find consistent scorers and quick.
36 has run an 8-0 run prior to that.
Oh, my God.
2 points.
Oh, my God. I just got excited. Did you see that? A back pick for a big guy to go inside. That's what I've been calling for almost every NBL team in the league. They are being real patient, making sure that Rob Franks gets the ball. So, there was times that Rob would get frustrated when he wasn't getting shots and he would just take wild threes sometimes. They are making a concerted effort to punish anybody guarding him, whether they back pick him into the post or just go 4-on-1 in and dump it into him. This is great.
We sound like a broken record, but this really was, up until about round 12 last season, he's on MVP watch. Then the Bullets started to fail. They had their injuries, they had their problems, and kind of looked like he checked out. He was unstoppable last year. Walking double-double, he could step out and shoot the three. He was a mismatch nightmare with his ability to put the ball on the floor.
Oh, people were very close to being fed. That young fella can just about taste the Hungry Jacks. Margin out to 10 points. Seaver. Mango. Nice feed.
That's what Peyton Seaver does. Put him in the pick and roll, spread the floor, and just trust every decision to be made by him.
He's been everywhere, this man. Franks can't get that to go. Mathiang with the rebound for the Hawks. Seaver. Open three. Look at the work there from Sunday Dets. And they love it.
Well, they love it, and so they should. But again, you're not going to show up on the stat sheet, but Kai Sotto's ability to catch alley-oops and to roll hard made the defense not to come across and help. So we see here the little ball screen, and Sam Froling's worried about that ball getting thrown up to Kai Sotto. He doesn't come across, and Johnny ends up fouling for the M1 opportunity.
CJ's basically got 2 teams. His bench could be starting 5, so he's got guys out there. Sunday Dutch out there, obviously Kai, Nick Marshall's out there. So obviously these guys can all play. When you got a lead like this, he has a 10-point lead in the first quarter. You can be looser with your substitutions. In the Hawks situation, and I can see that Jackham is trying to probably, like he spoke about in his press conference, trying to find 5 guys that can do well together. Well, in the process of trying to find that, you don't really set up any rhythm neither, so it's kind of catch-22.
Hey, you've been working out in the morning. There's no reason why you shouldn't be on the floor.
There's a conversation there, I reckon, Halls, which requires more than a couple of minutes before quarter time. He's a fitness machine at the moment, Damon Lowry, punishing his NBL championship winning body. Sunday Dets doesn't go. Rocky Dent on the floor. Froling. Such a productive game. It's Melbourne United. Very quiet early here. Dent puts up the floater.
That's not one of those possessions where Sam Froling, when you look at who's on the floor right now, Tyler Harvey, if you're not going to go through him, Sam Froling did a handoff and then sat in the corner. Didn't have any influence on the play. I think he's just too good not to have more involvement in their offense.
You think he's too good, Pete? I think he's too good, but I don't know if Sam thinks he's too good. Because how can you not have a shot in 9 minutes of basketball? If he finishes this quarter, the timeout should only be Jacob looking directly at Sam saying, do you want to play today?
Yeah,
We need you, man.
27 and 15.
Froling gets it back. Works his way into the paint with the left hand. Sotto.
And that was always going to happen when you hype up a man and take a shot, and he gets it touched 3 rows back. That's a great block from Kai Sotto.
With the right hand as well.
Even just substitutions. Tyler Harvey had 7 points and came out. 5 minutes to go.
Lockie Dent thought about it.
That's a tough shot.
That's a really tough
That's a
shot.
tough one. But it was probably 2 for 1, so give him the benefit of the doubt.
35.3% from the field on 6 of 17 shooting so far, the Hawks. 47.1%. 36 as he going out in this first quarter. Johnson thought about it. Swakala Bullock guards him closely. Shot clock violation.
That is a veteran play from Daniel Johnson from yelling at Sunday Dech for not shooting quick enough. I'm not sure I've seen any player get into their shot with 0.1 seconds after being thrown the hospital pass. That was always destined for a turnover. Daniel Johnson just got to be a little bit more aware of the shot clock.
Ding, ding. That's what they desperately needed, the Hawks. Heading into the quarter time break, they cut the margin to 8 points. And how they needed to. The 36ers 26, the Hawks 18. Hungry Jacks NBL Thursday night hoops from the Gong. Well, it is an idyllic setting on the beach at Wollongong. The entertainment setup. Everyone hoping for a big game tonight from the locals. They've started slowly up against the Adelaide 36ers. Will that 3 right on the buzzer at quarter time give them a bit of a spur heading into this second quarter? Alistair Nicholson alongside NBL Championship winners Pete Hooley and Damon Lowry as we get this second quarter underway. Sunday Dech wants to start it with significant impact, but he's off target. Drimich, though, he fires. Dech fights hard, has it ripped away by Froling, who runs the floor. He goes at DJ. The left hand won't drop.
Good aggression early by Sam. If he can take the ball off the rim and push it in transition, which is what he used to do as a Queensland junior. I've seen him do it in the Nationals, Pete. He can be aggressive in that way.
Well, talk about a man who's been starved for opportunity. Sunday Dech has not turned down any spare second of daylight so far coming off the bench in this one. 8 points, 3 of 6 from the field. Go, man.
Crispy cow.
Got it. Go.
Father and son, what a contribution that pair has made to the game of basketball in Australia. Barely been a year where there hasn't been a brute involved in the NBL in a playing or coaching capacity.
Dech thought he got away with that one. It's just a little bit accidental turnover. That shot fake in 3 from Deng Deng. He hit one to end the first quarter buzzer. There's no reason why you should be shot faking that. If you've got the space, you've just hit one, you've got to let that one fly. And there's the Volkanovski, I believe he's ready to head over to Perth soon enough. And oh my,
He needs to head over to Sam Froling and say, listen here, man, if you don't pick it up, I'm going to have to give you a couple of these.
That might not be a bad tactic. Maybe at the next time out, Jacob Jackomas could get Volk down there to have a few words.
Shacked in a full moment.
And I'm only saying it because I know how good Sam can be, and he showed us last game. He's a 20. He could be a 20 and 10 guy, but he doesn't have the 20 and 10 mentality.
Here's the ever-present Franks in the paint.
Simple basketball.
He's having a night.
Simple basketball. There's no matchup on the floor for Rob Franks. They know it, and they're going to him.
Well, we did pose the question: who was going to come up with the high-scoring night in the absence of Craig Randall, and we're getting a bit of an answer in the form of Robert Franks early on.
There's not too with the slow Euro. Now, George King, we know he's been in foul trouble, but Daniel Johnson with the slowest quick move. That should not happen if you're George King. Even DJ's having a bit of a smile about it.
Brad Rosen had the chance to catch up with Mitch McCarron.
You're a championship-winning point guard and you have a lot of experience behind you. So in your opinion, where are the areas that the teams need to improve the most?
Oh, I think we need to execute better, as I mentioned before. I think we need to defend a lot better. We've been giving up some easy buckets at times, and we do go on runs, as you mentioned before, where we score a lot of points in a quarter, and then we have a quarter where we give up 30 points like that, and it's just a bit too easy. So we've recognised that, we've addressed that, and we've just got to see it tonight.
Nice work by Brad Rosen there with Mitch McCarron, and they have been the worst defensive team, giving up 93.4 points per game, the Adelaide 36ers. Looking to tighten that up. Made a good start tonight. Latrobe Financial, our friends there, $50,000. You know how this works. Enter now at nbl.com.au/legends. Make a half-court shot. Highly recommend you enter it. It'll be like Pete Hooley, who made one of the biggest half-court shots in college basketball ever.
Just inside. No, we'll go for the 3 anywhere inside.
It wasn't from the car park, it was from the car park across the road from the car park, I heard.
The stakes were high. March Madness.
Well, I don't like to talk about it until it gets to March. So come back to me in March and I'll talk about it non-stop. But on that, you talked about the worst defensive team, Mitch McCarron talking about it. With this team and how potent they are offensively, you probably go into the season thinking, look, even if we aren't great defensively, we still can score enough points to win. That's probably true in 90% of leagues around the world, just not the NBL. And the Jack Jumpers proved that last season. The Sydney Kings, they were the two of the best defensive teams, Melbourne United as well,
Yes.
who they finished in the top 4 and get to the grand final series because they banked themselves on defense. It doesn't matter how strong you are offensively. If you can't defend as a unit, you're not going to find success in the NBL when it comes to crunch time.
And of course tonight, part of a double-header in the NBL. Later on, we've got the Perth Wildcats up against the Jack Jumpers, and John really emphasised at the start of the season that his side needed to improve at the defensive end, as Harvey has a long-range look. And the shot is long. I haven't quite got it right yet.
Missed opportunities. Sorry, I missed opportunity by the Hawks. They run the ball screen as Payton gets a clean strip.
Siva upstairs. Just a casual lay-in for Peyton Siva.
Mango
5 dimes in the first quarter, Siva.
That's what he does. Mango made it set a nice ball screen. They switch. McCarron is on Mango, but Mango doesn't try to then seal him. So now Peyton goes, well, I guess I'll just shoot it. Or Tyler goes, I guess I'll just shoot it then. Once you get inside and you get the mismatch, you have to own that space and be aggressive and demand the ball.
Drew it the catch and shoot.
Peyton Seaver might have the best hands in the NBL. How quickly he reads the play, can just get steals, deflections, just times it so well on the defensive end.
Matiang spins inside the paint, finishes with the right hand.
Great move.
Bigs who continue to score the ball. Maybe Pengo Matiang, he's only averaging 17 minutes a game. He's coming off some pretty significant injuries. Maybe it's time to start just slowly increasing his load and getting him ready to have a big contribution.
Well read by Matiang. Some good minutes here, or moments, for the Hawks as they eat into this game. High 15-point lead. It's now back to 11. Brad Rosen, what are you seeing?
Yeah, it's been an interesting couple of minutes for Illawarra. They are very, very quiet on the bench, and most of their energy is coming from the offensive end. When they get scores, they're up and about, but they need to change the philosophy. Giving up 33 points, you see them sitting there now. The coach is into it, but everyone else needs to be quiet. It's got to get up now and get it from the defensive end, start to get some stops.
Peyton Seaver keeps on pulling the trigger. That is missed by some margin.
He has belief in himself. I'll give him that. But those shots, like I said, 3-point his percentage, it is not great. When teams will now go under all of his ball screens. Back when I used to pretend to be in the league a little bit, guys are going to my ball screens, Pete. And you know what Brendan Joyce used to say? Set the screen lower. Then if they go under it, I might give myself an elbow jumper. But Peyton is still 7 for the 3. You just yanked him for that.
I think that's what Jacob Travis is basically saying. You're going to have that whenever you want, the way they're playing you. And whether it's either setting the screen low or setting a re-screen, because if they're going to go under, you can't go under a re-screen. You have to try and fight over as Mitch McCarron. Oh my goodness, he's knocking down skates. Well,
that's bad luck, Rocky. Bad luck. Keep going.
Michael Bullock draws the foul.
This is who I need to see more out of. Swaka left a championship team to come to Wollongong, to come to Illawarra, because he wanted to show his offensive package, which he didn't feel he had a chance to display in Sydney. Here you are, you're starting, and this is your second shot attempt. So I'm saying, you can't just talk about it, you got to be about it.
It's supposed to go.
They're only 5 points a game, and it's never going to be a huge jump you expect from him. Not to get up to 12, 15 points per game, because putting that up in the NBL, you're legit on the offensive end. It's just being that confidence. And he's going to be a 3-and-D type player. Knock down the 3 at a high rate and really lock up defensively.
Open look for Franks. And the tip in from McCarron.
That's just a big guard right there. Mitch McCarron. I remember back in the days, up at the Cairns Taipans, had a couple of 16 rebounding games.
Tyler Harvey goes to work, puts up the floater. He's having a good shooting night, Tyler Harvey.
So that works. You get a little floater. Tyler Harvey gets deep in the keyway. The next time down the floor, you've got to run the exact same set. You had a nice, patient set where you went side to side and you got Tyler Harvey, your main guy, into a floater that is his go-to shot. There's no reason why you don't go back to that well until it dries up. Robert Franks
is finishing from everywhere.
He's just mucking around out there right now.
Robert Franks, 13 points. 5 of 7 from the field. 1 of 2 from outside the arc. Harvey. This is too hard. Deng. From the elbow.
You got to take these shots. We got to talk about George King, Pete. We can't just sit here and act like he's not sitting on 0 points and 3 fouls. Not only is he in foul trouble with no points, he's wrecking the rotations. So now Jacob takes out Peyton because he was frustrated with Peyton. So now he can't put George out there. So he got to go with Lockie. So, and I don't think he trusts Tyler to be the point guard for the whole time. So George being in foul trouble hurts a lot more than just the scoreboard.
Well, it is 0 of 2. He's played 4 minutes and got 3 fouls. And again, when you're searching for offensive consistency, he's not putting it up. Sam Froling, he's only taken 2 shots. He's yet to hit the scoreboard. Let me replay here. And look, it's going to be a long night if you're settling for long-range contested 2 step-backs over a hand. If that's the offense you're trying to have to come by, it's going to be a long night.
It's clearly not what Jacob Jackomas is trying to lay down for his team. Tonius Cleveland, 30 games for the Hawks last season in their run to the semi-finals. Frank's inside, Sotto. Just a little high, that pass for him.
I can see Drimmick and Rob having a slight conversation. Drimmick wanted to post him up, but Rob wasn't committed in his post-up. So Drimmick going, I'm not going to turn the ball over. I'm not just going to force feed you. You got to get a better seal. Eventually ended up going, like, looking at a high-low with Rob and Kai Sotto. But this is situations when Rob clearly has a mismatch. He's just got to keep doing the same thing.
Nathan Seavers check back in. Harvey almost lost the handle, looking for support.
Go to work, Mango.
Mango gets
Go to
fed.
work, big fella.
Mango goes to work. He's still going to work. The D was strong from the 36ers. Froling, though, gives them another look. Harvey!
Well, they had plenty of bites at the cherry. Another opportunity here.
Franks loses it to Froling. Harvey. The floater doesn't go this time.
It's going to be over the back call. Good hustle there from Mango Matthew. That's probably the one off time when we talk about Tyler Harvey can take his floater at any moment. A fast break when you have an advantage is probably the one time you don't need him to take the floater. Whether it's, we saw it earlier, Mitch McCarron, the early kick ahead. Try and put some heat on the rim, draw the defense. Got to get a better look than that when you have that advantage. But right now, we're talking about a different Adelaide team tonight. I've got 11 assists on 15 made field goals. That ball's zipping around. They're finding some open looks. Good things are happening.
Mango.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Okay. Whatever it takes. We can't be too picky these days in Wollongong, so good to see him aggressive.
Coots.
Yeah, Payton Seaver. Payton Seaver potentially might just be a man of the people here. So they're going to have a potential talk about this as an upgrade, I would think, because Payton Seaver, he's doing the right thing. No easy baskets. He's trying to make him earn them at the line, maybe feed the people of New South Wales. But whenever you put your hand straight up and say, this is what I was trying to do, I was trying to make a foul, it gives them a chance to look at it as potentially upgrading from unsportsmanlike for no play on the ball. And I don't think it is there, because you know what he's trying to do. He's trying to not let them get the easy basket.
Yeah, that's just a regular standard foul. Nothing to see here, people. Nothing to see here.
So they've had a look at it, and they said they agree with you, Damon. I'm spot on with that as well. But any time you do that, you come across the arms and you put your hand immediately straight up, say, yep,
Guilty. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Dave Barlow's the king of that. And you try and do the foul, and you put your hand up, just trying to do the right thing. You're a very fair player, and they turn around and say, yeah, well, you were intentionally fouling, so we're going to blow you for unsportsmanlike.
Jacob takes Tyler out with 2:45 to go in a 12 to 13 point game.
I'm not sure Tyler was appreciating it either.
Damon. Nor should he. Shooting 50% from the field. He's, leading the score. Like, how come he can't play out the rest? And I don't want to be second guessing every single decision coaches make. Sometimes you leave me no choice.
Now they've got to find another avenue. Oh, that's a complete miscommunication. Cleveland can't keep that ball in. So Akuth only played a couple of minutes this season. There's Tyler Harvey, 9 points on 4 of 8 shooting from the field, 1 of 4 from beyond the arc.
You just got to stick at it. Stick at the process. Take it a possession at a time, a quarter at a time, because you're on a 6-game losing streak. Things have been thrown out of whack ever since Justin Robertson, your star signing, has been injured. Slugger Bullock tees one up. That's a big knockdown for his confidence. Just 26% from 3. a lot of the Hawks players, when you're in this rut, is from the shoulders up. Because you get into this mental state where things aren't working out, and it's kind of like quicksand. You're trying to fight out of it, but you keep sinking. You just got to stick to the process, but that process has to be locked in every single possession.
Johnson works his way to the rim and puts up the right-hand shot. Margin back out to 12.
Hey, calm down. CJ's gave Ding a coach some minutes, some gifted minutes to get into the young fella, but he didn't put him out there with the entire bench unit. I like that. Put him out there he got 3 starters out there with him, and CJ clearly is not too worried about this lead, not too worried about Wollongong or Illawarra, taking this game, so he's going deep into his bench with Ding, and he's got some talent, so it's good to see him getting a few minutes.
See that, the free throw line.
Hey! Tyler checks back in. That just was a quick little rest, I guess. Coaches of Australia, I don't need a rest for 30 seconds. Halftime's coming.
Now,
leave me out here, Pete.
You're just a different breed, mate. You don't need a rest ever. You told me you're going to get home tonight, you're going to wake up after 3 hours sleep, run for 468 kilometres and then go to work.
Damon was up at 4:30 this morning, 32K. Sunday Detch, short on that shot, rolling the rebound.
They can go into the half under 10, encouraging.
Froling gets an open look, doesn't take the shot. Confidence just not quite there tonight for Froling.
It's going to help send in the bonus, get Peyton Seaver back to the free throw line, whereas 4 of 4, it's only as Cleveland. Return to Wollongong's picked up a couple of fouls, and it's a veteran play. Feel that hand from Cleveland extended and just rip it through. You're always going to get that call.
I played for a coach once that if you didn't take a wide open shot, you're sitting down. Don't think you're doing a team thing just by moving the ball. Take the open shots.
So the margin is under 10 for the first time in a fair while. Let's go to Brad Rosen.
I'll tell you what, Peyton Seaver, whilst he might not be scoring huge amounts, he is controlling this game outstandingly for Illawarra. He's been able to draw a couple of fouls, gets to the free throw line. They're only down by 8 at the moment. It looks like they should be down by 15 and 20 the way they've played. So Peyton Seaver doing an outstanding job for them.
This is an unbelievable pass. Daniel Johnson, a really good execution on the offensive end, and just the player movement. This is something that maybe CJ Bruton is having a look at. Okay, with certain lineups on the floor, what can we run through? What kind of style of play can we add to our arsenal? Because you think about the depth of this lineup, and we're seeing it on display now. The teams that are really going to compete for the title this year are some of the deepest we've seen. The Sydney Kings, the Phoenix now, one of the deepest teams around. The Breakers have shown that they've got enough depth to be successful, but Adelaide, with guys gone right down to the Melbourne players, and I mentioned the Kings, they had 3 bench guys on in the last 4 minutes to clutch in that win against the Taipans. That's just faith in every man on the roster, and this is what CJ Bruton's starting to show here.
Jacob Jackomas would kill for that kind of faith in the roster at the moment. It's been a better quarter from the Hawks. Seaver. 10 points the margin. It was 8 at quarter time. Did get out to 15 in this quarter. Karen.
That's a good point, Pete. This team out here right now for the 36ers, there's no ball stickers on this group. So the ball is moving quicker. They're going to have to find out what to do when Craig comes back, because when he's out there on the floor, can the ball still move like this?
Well,
it doesn't have to happen every time, but some of the time.
He is leading the team in assists, and again, he's too crafty just to put him in the corner. You still got him, have to make him, let him play his game to make plays, and he's going to have massive nights.
Oh, DJ.
Hang on. Where's his confidence when we are at a full
Half time in the Hungry Jacks NBL. The Adelaide 36ers 49 lead the Illawarra Hawks 37, a 12-point lead to the 36ers, and work for the Hawks to do.
Yep, no worries. I don't know who they're going to beat.
For real, though.
The Adelaide 36ers in a strong position at halftime in Wollongong. They're leading 49 points to 37, and they have been good at both ends of the floor. As the Illawarra Hawks try and find a way back from a halftime deficit, they're going to need to produce their best. Damon Larry, it's been another tough night for the Hawks. It's been a bit of a theme this season. Should really be a little further behind than they are, to be fair.
It looks like they should be down by at least 20 points. But they just hanging around for some kind of way. I think Adelaide might have taken the foot off the gas a little bit, but it's clear that the Hawks have some issues. I mean, it's just basic things. I mean, when they look good, they look good. When Peyton gets good penetration and he can make some finds, hit people wide open for shots, and those are good shots that they can make. But then the mistakes start to happen. So that's what they've been doing. They've been shooting themselves in the foot a little bit, but fortunate to be only down 12.
Hungry Jacks, halftime highlights, and most of them, the 36ers, as you can see, shooting at 54.8% from the field. And just the odd moment for the Illawarra Hawks. Deng on the stroke of quarter time reduced the margin to 8 points, but it stands at 12 at the halftime break, and DJ's had a good night. 6 points in each quarter for him so far. And they respond. There are the halftime stats. Damon, what's jumping out to you there?
Well, I'm looking at three-point shooting percentage. The Hawks are 3 for 15. I mean, I can shoot better than that. Yeah, I probably could. but they just can't put the ball in the hole. They're like, without offensive scoreboard pressure, it's only a matter of time before your defense just collapses on itself.
Worrying moments for the Illawarra Hawks. Tyler Harvey's shooting the ball pretty well tonight. Not a lot of support for him. Peyton Seaver has just fired away almost with Gaya. And from outside the arc.
And it's hard to fault Peyton, except when he's turned the ball over like that, because he makes things go. They don't have up until he got there and when Justin Robinson was hurt, they didn't have a playmaker. So this team was kind of rudderless. Now they have a playmaker. Now it's all about being efficient.
So a few of the halftime highlights there with thanks to Hungry Jacks. Pete Hooley is over at the Analyzer. Pete, what have you taken out of that opening half?
Well, we've been talking a lot about Robert Franks, and with no Craig Randall, we look like we're getting the focal point of the offence in Franks. Is what Adelaide looks really good. They're not just saying go get your own bucket. They're putting him in the right position to be successful. We'll have a look here when they up the defensive intensity full court. So we keep a freeze here. Cleveland gets the steal. Keep an eye on Franks. Watch how hard he runs the lane to get this mismatch steal. So he's going to run. They're in transition. They get it set up. He's got a mismatch, and then keep an eye on their captain down low, Mitch McCarron. He starts pointing, saying, let's feed the rock because we've got a shooter here in Daniel Johnson. Here's the mismatch. Let's get Robert Franks the ball. So he's got Madronya on him. Easy bucket. A goaltender counts here. Here's the baseline out of bounds. It's not all about just go and get a score, Robo. Let's try and get him a rock into some space. So they get two curl cuts coming through here. The best part about it is they're going to clear Nick Marshall and Anthony Drink. They're going to get out of the way. And what they're going to do is set this screen here from Sunday Detch on a back pick, give Robert Franks this whole empty side of the floor once things start to open up. So they get it there. Franks gets through there, gets the foul call. Otherwise, it would have been a bucket. The last one here, Robert Franks, another one where how do we get him the rock in a position to be successful? So they throw this ball into here, into Daniel Johnson. They get this little curl cut from Anthony Drimmick to take Deng Deng away, get Franks versus George King, who's foul prone, and let George King have to go against Robert Franks. Robert Franks is too good one-on-one. This is the offense we expected. This is what Robert Franks can do. Completely different looking Adelaide team when he's that focal point tonight.
Good stuff, Pete. Sunday Detch with 8 points, Johnson 12, Franks 13. Those questions around who would step up in the absence of Craig Randall, we've got some answers to halftime, Damon.
Yep, and Robert Franks is the 20 and 10 guy from Brisbane, and now he's showing what he can do. It's just all about when everybody gets together, when the full team is there, can they still include Rob from time to time?
Let's see if this match can still get interesting, because the third quarter's been the best quarter this season for the Hawks. It's been the worst quarter for the 36ers. They average only 16 points in third quarters. None of this is average. Half-court shots. Enter at nbl.com.au/legends for your chance to win $50,000. Got some fantastic entries coming in. Make sure you're a part of it. But the second half action from Wollongong on the other side of this. Adelaide 36ers looking for their third win of the season. We're at the Wollongong Entertainment Centre. And the local side, the Illawarra Hawks, they've lost their past 6. They're in a bit of a bind again here. They need to find something and find it quickly. What does Jacob Jackomas have in his bag of tricks for this second half?
Big positive going into that is their little late flurry in that second quarter. Look, they're only down 12, and they played pretty poorly up until this point. So to only be down 12 and not 20 odd, you should be really happy with the opportunity you have to start this third quarter strong. They've got to clean things up on the offensive end. They have 9 turnovers, same as the 36ers, but they were so unforced. They were just throwing the ball away, letting it roll away. Incorrect passes on the same page. So let's see how they attack this opening 3 minutes.
They've got 17 days after this before their next game when they visit the Sydney Kings. So,
and you don't want to go into that, speaking from experience, you don't want to go into a long fever break on the end of a bad couple of losses, because that can be a long 17 days. But normally the best part about having a bad loss is you get to back it up in the next few days to be able to try and right the ship, which we've seen teams do. Melbourne United did it. They went over to Perth after getting smacked around by Sydney, and other teams have done the same.
Well, if this game goes way left, they can forget about a day off. It's 17 straight days of training, so I need to see what they're going to come out with some fight over these next 5 minutes. It'll tell the whole tale.
So the field goal shooting percentage, the Hawks all season, 39.7, which is the worst in the NBL, and tonight going at 36.1. Is it the looks they're getting? Is it a confidence thing?
It's a confidence thing right now, because you looked at some of the highlights, or the lowlights, I guess, of the missed shots. A lot of them are really good looks, and you've just got to step up and knock them down, and that's something mentioned in the first half of the shoulders up. When you're in this rut, when things just aren't going the way you want, it's going to help. That is a gift.
Effortless bucket for Tyler Harvey, who's up to 11 points.
Sometimes a team can drag you down. And right now, Adelaide, they're trying to do some things. They're trying to experiment.
From Mitch McCarron, you can see they were trying to, again, it's all about the way they're getting Robert Franks the ball. They clear out that side, they empty it out, 2-man game. Mitch McCarron is always going to look for his big man.
Froling goes to work under the rim. Left hand hook shot doesn't go for him.
Very makeable shot for Sam. I'm glad he took it. I don't mind if you miss it, but you got to give me.
Two-man game. Mitch McCarron is always going to look for his big man.
Froling goes to work under the rim. Left hand hook shot doesn't go for him.
Very makeable shot for Sam. I'm glad he took it. I don't mind if you miss it, but you got to give me more attempts like that, because he can make.
And AC having a few words. I'd love to be a fly on the wall of Craig Randall right now, because if you remember that game at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, Deng Deng and Craig Randall got stuck into it a little bit. Deng Deng loves to have a bit of a chat. I wonder if Randall's just yelling at the TV, backing up his teammate, Antonius Cleveland.
Johnson inside. Franks, 17 points for the night on 7 of 9 shooting.
Hawks got caught out trying to go to a zone just then and had more holes in it than Swiss cheese. They need to shore that up.
Seaver to Froling. That is now 7 assists for Peyton Seaver.
It's also their third keyway to start this quarter. You had that one from Sam Froling. He's got to make that. Deng Deng got all the way to the cup, missed the layup.
Tried to feed Johnson. The Hawks will get the ball. They need to get on a run here. Let's take a look at the Amy replay. Peyton Seaver, the look away, and Froling the finish for his first points of the night. Deng Deng gets the open look. And it goes.
Assist Seba. The more Peyton are in ball screens, good things happen six times out of 10 when he's in the ball screen. You might not want to do it on the very, very first possession or the very first passage of play, but if that play ends up in the ball screen with him, good things are going to happen. You're going to get an open shot.
Greatest margin 15 in the second quarter. Daniel Johnson short on that shot.
And the key from the other Hawks, now you want to go back to it. Get that ball screen with Peyton Seaver, but don't be stagnant on the weak side. Keep moving, keep cutting, keep setting away screens, because that way you're going to get guys open to shoot the rock or get layups like they've shown.
9 points is the lead to the 36 as Seaver kicks it out. Tyler Harvey just cannot get it to rattle in at the moment. Started really brightly.
Adelaide dodged a bullet. We're down low to Frog. Oh, too easy. Way too easy.
Frank's just...
Adelaide might want to just double check their ball screen defense because guys are getting wide open looks.
Frank's hit us with a little too small, but just did it really quickly because I think we're starting to see too many players say other players are too small.
I'll take offense.
Harvey getting busy. Nice finish. Well received. Tyler Harvey, 13 points.
Hanging around. Hawks still single-digit game. They're in this little zone here.
Sunday Detch. Getting late in the clock. Detch needs to shoot.
He's got a
charging foul.
He's got to shoot that three ball. Mitch McCarron knew exactly what he was doing when he got the ball back and called for the screen from Robert Franks. That was set up so that you could get that cross-court pass. And I'll tell you what, there could be a little bit of either a challenge here or they're just going to have it and talk about things on the offensive end against this zone.
Teams don't.
February in Perth, so really looking forward to that.
Now I see you're on dad duty tonight. Two little girls here. What did they love the game?
Yeah, they love the basketball. They heard it on the radio and they're like, let's go watch.
So do you?
One shot, quick, get out of it. No, stay in it because teams don't practice against it enough.
Oh, now Peyton's getting him to go from outside the arc.
Well, Damon, you spoke about how the team looks without Craig Randall. I'll tell you what, that's one man right now. That team's going into a zone. That's who you want to have on the floor. He is a zone buster because you got to locate him every single time he's on the floor. The minute he gets over halfway.
Drimmick tries to respond. Goes again. Hawks in possession. They're on a 7-0 run here. Froling, Swagger Bullock. It's swinging big time.
One time out. go for it again. Substitution's ready to check in, but this zone is working wonders. Adelaide don't know what to do.
What a turnaround in this contest. The Hawks in it up to their eyeballs. McCarron drives towards the basket. Johnson with the putback, and they needed that, the 36ers.
That is the only thing that the Hawks they just got to come up and finish that possession and get that rebound. But maybe as a team, as the worst defensive team in the league, as Tyler does what Tyler does, maybe they found a defensive identity. Maybe we'll be the junk team that plays the junk D, I should say. Not the junk team, but the team that plays the junk it up defense and just keep you off balance.
18 points to 8 the Hawks have scored in this quarter. Nice finish, Franks.
And that's where, if you're Adelaide, you've seen a couple of moments of success where they have a ball screen up top. You can still screen against the zone, but also get Franks and Daniel Johnson working together in a tandem. High-low post and just work off each other. Find the gaps in the zone. They've done that and they've scored, but right now they've got to get some stops on the defensive end.
Ding, ding, long. Franks comes up with it. Robert Franks has scored 8 of the 36ers, 10 points in this quarter. He now has 21 for the night. He might about have 23. Yes, he does.
He is so tough, and I tell you what, it's just good to see him in this kind of form. This is why he was so highly touted last season and such a big recruit. It's why he had all that interest overseas.
Tyler Harvey from long range. Drumic comes up with the rebound. Cops close attention from Deng.
See, the 36ers got two bigs. Well, Rob is playing like a big, and sometimes Rob could play like a perimeter player from time to time, but when them two guys are both committed to getting down low and establishing themselves in position, the Hawks don't have enough size on the floor right now to combat that. So you might need to come with some mango juice, Pete, just to balance out the matchups.
Well, you mentioned them being a junk defensive team. I think that can actually be their identity. It can be ugly at times, but with the team they have and what they're producing, to not just stay in a zone. Maybe you play a zone for 2 possessions, then you get out of it. Then you go to a man-to-man. Maybe you go to a box-to-one against a certain team. Forever change your defense if you're not very good at one in particular.
Shot needs to go up here. And the block from Matiang. And now Swakala Bullock goes towards the bucket, draws the foul, and will go to the line.
Oh, it's great defense from Matthew. He's been huge off the bench tonight. 8 points, 6 rebounds.
Mitch was perplexed. Didn't realize I could foul you with my neighbor. But the Hawks now have got themselves in a position where they believe they can win. CJ will be annoyed because right now Adelaide has allowed this to happen. Credit to the Hawks for getting it, for changing things, but it is now a ball game.
This season, with thanks to MG, we're giving away a brand new MG ZSEV electric car valued at $44,990. Enter now at nbl.com.au/winmg. That is well worth winning. Good prizes we've got attached to this competition. Fantastic. Froling, speaking of, puts a stop to that from McCarron. Violation.
They're protecting the rim well. Matthew Yang and Sam Froling.
Now CJ has come with his high energy guys, got high him out there on the floor. Hopefully can make some things happen, add some defensive intensity, but they got Adelaide on the back foot.
George King back into the game. Had a first half to forget. 4 minutes, 3 fouls. Didn't trouble the scorers.
Tyler Harvey goes to work. They're just a little rattled at the moment, the 36ers.
The ball moves, then Tyler can get it, going downhill on his left hand. Mango doing a good job of staying active, drew himself a foul. What's Mango's free throw percentage, Pete? How's he going so far?
Started the season of 7. Searching for that first one. We saw him hit a tough step back, mid-range.
Now 1 of 8.
There you go,
Damon.
Well, all you got to do is hit one and things start to roll, although that didn't look
wide
good
right
from that angle. 1 of 9 on the season.
Disappointing
Missed opportunity. All that hard work, got to reward yourself. They fall back to the 2-3.
Well, he's just pulling the trigger because he's having some sort of a night. Robert Franks, 25 points.
Missed 2 shots. 11 of 13 from the field.
That was on George King's side. He got lost, paid the price.
12 points in this quarter for Franks at 13 to half-time. Froling drives, spins and finishes. Oh, the bucket won't count.
They've called this an offensive foul. Little hook. Jacobo's asking his bench to have a quick look at it and see if it's true.
Yeah.
Just a fend off.
Yeah, he just left arm.
Yeah. That is really well defended from Hiram Harris. You notice that Froling's going to get to his spin move. You don't often see it. With a left-hander driving to the middle of the floor, spinning back to his right.
But if he shoots that wide open 3 and knocks it down, it changes how Hiram guards him.
The Carrot likes the look of this. It's off the hand of Sotto.
Just like you said, Pete, now that they've been in that zone for a long time, CJ's made some adjustments. They just ran 2 ball screens, got Mitch a wide open shot. So
well, now you might be thinking exactly right. Now we get out of the zone for a little bit. But do we go back to man-to-man? Do we try and maybe trap a ball screen here or there? Just things to really keep Adelaide guessing. Having to always change one offense, how comfortable they are in that end.
George King from the elbow. And George King gets his first points of the night. And the margin cut back again to 5 points.
Welcome, George, to the game. Out man-to-man this team. Rob Franks on the bench, Antonius on the bench.
Daniel Johnson here asking for this to be reviewed. He wants a coach's challenge. He's going to be too late now. I tell you what, he tried to get it, CJ Bruton. Well played, the Illawarra Hawks.
Mango almost with the offensive rebound, but Sotto comes up with it for the 36ers.
There it is, the slowest, quickest moves in FPL history. Just a really slow jab step. Sam Froling looking at the floor. There's not much there.
It's because he knows DJ
Look at
was
this hoodie.
shooting. Ooh, yeah, he got him reaching bad. Wasn't even a shot fake, just a jab and go by.
Just a 3-day jab and then rip middle. It's hard to guard. He's just made a career of getting to the free throw line for that exact reason.
It's Tyler Harvey just offering Daniel Johnson a few words of encouragement. He tries to restore a 7-point lead here. 14 points for Johnson tonight. His first made free throw is now 1 of 2.
DJ has always been a professional scorer, can score at every level, can get himself to the foul line, reliable, can hit the 3, put the ball on the floor, jump hooks. He's got the package.
He's very well might be one of the most, if not the most underrated player in NBL history, because he's done it year in, year out. It's such the most underrated player in NBL history, because he's done it year in, year out at such a high level, and just because of his quiet nature, the way he goes about it, so often gets overlooked. The recognition he deserves.
Even in the Boomer squad, don't you think he deserves a Boomer call-up, at least in the squad?
Well, he had one a couple of years ago. He's getting older now, but continues to be a nightmare in the offense. Man, as Kai Sotto steps out, the zone buster.
Froling. Final play of the third quarter, a productive one for the Hawks. Can they finish the job here? Mango Matiang. Froling gets a look, and that doesn't go either, so it will be a 7-point lead. The margin stood at 12 at the halftime break. The Hawks have fought their way back into it. This could yet be a tight finish in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Illawarra Hawks needed to make a move in the third quarter, and that's exactly what they did. Tyler Harvey's been their go-to, but Peyton Seaver, who couldn't all night, he found one, the confidence grew, and a margin that was once 15 points in the second quarter was cut back as low as 2. It stands at 7 at three-quarter time. Let's go to Brad Rosen courtside. I'd imagine, Brad, the atmosphere, locals are getting a little keen.
It is pumping down here. It is absolutely fantastic. I do want to take you back to round 3, though. When they played the last time, these two teams, Illawarra were up by 2, but it took Craig Randall 17 points in the fourth quarter to get that win. I want to ask the boys up there, who's got to do that tonight for Adelaide?
Well, right now it's Robert Franks. Only his Cleveland's wide open 3. That's no good. Robert Franks got 25. You think that if they stay in this zone and try and keep them out of the keyway, one of these guards is going to have to hit some shots.
Be aggressive.
Goes to work with the left hand. He is aggressive. He's rewarded for it.
It's a simple game.
It's simple. When you got your head on, when you screwed on right and Sam's being confident, that's what he can do. That's hard to stop. He guards himself. That's the problem.
Well, these two teams have only known overtime of late, but we'll be headed for another thrilling finish. Sotto with the putback.
Sotto, I think he's going to continue to get better game in and game out. He just finds himself in a logjam behind some superstars this season. Last year he got more minutes towards the end of the year due to injuries. This year you got Robert Franks, Daniel Johnson, and the ability to play small with Franks at the 5, Cleveland at the 4. So it's going to be a work in progress to find those minutes.
This ain't always a done thing in the NBL these days, but I tell you what, if I'm Rob Franks, I'm a little bit upset. I'm shooting 11 to 13. I'm 84% from the field. What the hell I'm on the bench for? The game is close.
The Amy replay of Brian getting where he wants to and make it easy, but you're spot on. I don't think CJ Bruton will have wait too long. Sam Froling blocks Kai Sotto. That's his third block of the night.
Peyton Seaver kicks it out. Froling to Harvey. Open look. Yes!
CJ Bruton just sitting there, crossing his arms.
Brad Rosen courtside.
Just want to talk about Robert Franks. Damon, you're 100% right, but CJ's looking at him and said, just give me another minute or 2, then you'll bring us home. So you are on the right track, but he just wants him to have another 1 or 2.
But Brad, why? Why wait for a minute? A whole bunch of stuff can happen in a minute. I'm ready to go right now.
Timely. 3 from Daniel Johnson. He's got 19 points and 7 of 10 shooting. 3 of 5 from three-point range. And Tyler Harvey's feeling it.
CJ Bruton not happy, saying that should have been an illegal screen. I thought that was pretty well played from Mathiang. Jimmy tries to answer back and straight away erases the damage down the other end. And look, Robert Franks has been terrific, but the way he's playing, he's on track to have one of those games where you're disappointed he didn't get enough shots up. 11 of 13 from the field. He's about to check in now.
This ain't the time to get cute with the subs. This is.
Let's have a look at this. Was Mango Mathiang set? Oh, my word.
That's illegal.
My word. Just
legal screen. Nothing to see here.
So 4 consecutive three-pointers made in this contest. It's just ratcheting up a little bit here.
Momentum is a real thing. And right now the Hawks got it. They'd be annoyed that this goes down. Okay.
Swakala Bullock lost the handle. Drimmick, the deflection. And now might be on the end of it. Drimmick blocked. Cleveland hasn't had a big night, but they're an important couple of points.
Defensive transition both times. The turnover. They made 3, and then they give up a 3 the very next time down. It's just little things like that. The Hawks does not have that room for error.
You know, Tyler Harvey had the hops like that. He can do this, though.
Oh, goodness gracious me. Tyler Harvey sucking in the deep ones and having a big impact.
Well, Tyler Harvey has found his form. Up to 24 points, 4 of 9. This is what he can do. Cleveland gets cleaned up on the screen. There's a whole lot of contact by either player, but both of them combined Cleveland in the end actually takes out his left arm.
Tyler has always, sorry, Pete, Tyler has always been that guy. He don't give a damn about shooting percentages. He knows who he is, and at any time, he's dangerous. So he's not gonna die wondering, this guy. So it's only a matter of time with him. You got to be switched on from start to finish.
25 points tonight for Tyler Harvey, margin back to 5. 21 points against Melbourne United on the weekend. 5 of 11 from outside the arc, but his shooting from inside was off the mark. 1 of 7. It's been much better tonight.
It's the zone again. Daniel Johnson, hard to rebound out of a zone. It's exactly what they settled for. Just a bit of action all around the perimeter. Settle for a contested 3, but somebody's got to get a body on the big fellas. It's going to be a carry, Peyton Seaver. But I like that they started this quarter. Cleveland not happy getting subbed out here. Sunday Detch.
So 7 points the lead, 6 minutes and 11 on the clock at the timeout. Well, this is interesting. The margin three-quarter time was 7. The Hawks have landed some blows, but the 36ers have been able to respond in this final quarter every time of asking. What would the message be here, do you think, from Jacob Jacomas, Damon?
They need to do the little things. They go back to their zone on scores by the looks of it, but they have to rebound and they have to get a shot up every time down. They can't have any sloppy possessions for this next 6 minutes.
For the 36ers?
We're going to execute down both ends. Defensively, it hasn't been there. If Illinois is going to junk this up on their defensive end, your defense has to be just as good.
Tyler Harvey producing in a big way for the Illawarra Hawks tonight, 25 points. And conversely, Robert Franks, 25 points as well, 59% and 79% respectively. You can see Tyler Harvey's been good from long range again tonight.
They've been terrific, and here we go. The Illawarra Hawks, first 2 minutes of this fourth, they were in man-to-man. Now they're back to a zone.
Sunday Detch gets an open look, and he puts it away.
That's how you beat it. That little dump-off pass to get Franks in the MG logo, it opens everything up. He can shoot it, he can dump it off to his big fella Daniel Johnston, or he can hit somebody for a 3. And that's why Antonius Cleveland's probably been subbed out right now, just to space the floor with some shooters.
Ding, ding to reply. That doesn't go.
Tyler got to do a better job in that situation, though, Pete. He's got Rob Franks on the elbow. Surely that's not a mismatch on the perimeter, you wouldn't have thought. But he just let him just kind of stroll into the key and just make an easy pass.
So margin back out to double figures as Johnson lands an almighty blow on the Hawks.
How is the shooting from Johnson and Franks? 20 of 26 from the field combined. They got 49 points.
Great shot making, but I'm still going to pick on Tyler in that situation. He was out there in that top of the zone. It just is one pass across the key, and DJ gets a shot.
That's now 10 dimes for Peyton Seaver tonight. He is the first Hawks player in their history to have double-figure dimes in back-to-back games. As Johnson gets underneath on the reverse, comes up with another 2. He moves to 26. He leads all comers.
Well, when that aspect of this game becomes consistent, then it's a major problem for everybody in the league. That's the only chink in Peyton Seaver's armor, is that three-point shot.
Detch to Drimmick. And now it's happening for the 36ers. They have put the foot down.
Talk about flicking a switch since that timeout. My goodness. 16-point ball game.
They're on a 13-2 run at the moment, the 36ers. Swaka Bullock drives baseline and gets it done.
Much needed. I think he's been terrific tonight. 12 points, 4 or 6 from the field. The big question is, Jacob Skomas will be thinking, where has this been all season long? This aggression, this confidence. Just under 4 minutes to go.
Dremic, the fadeaway.
Anthony has come alive since injected into the starting lineup.
We've now got a game-high lead in the blink of an eye. 16 points. The 36ers have wound it up. And here's the man of the night. That one rattles out, but the putback from DJ and the timeout is called, unsurprisingly.
Well, that was a demolition in 3 minutes. This game looked like it was close. Look at Daniel Johnson's numbers. 28 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. We've been hyping up Robert Frank. And Daniel Johnson is just quietly going about his business, as he so often does. And this game looked like at the timeout it was anybody's. Illawarra started to make a run, and let's see what Jacob Skomas has to say right now.
Hey, we've got to go back to man right now. All right, we've got to stay matched up and go back to man.
You got to pop that out of it.
Yeah, again, he's on the sides. We're stabbing those sides. Hey, you guys have got to show some spirit right now. All right, we've got to really show some spirit, and we've got to play here right now. Offensively, Lockie. Let's go the horns. Let's go the horns hit. Horns hit series and play it that way. All right, let's go. Hands here. Let's go.
Together on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Anytime the coach looks at you and says, I need you to show me some spirit, that's a problem. I shouldn't have to ask you to show me some spirit. So this is the situation where the Hawks, they feel like, well, here we go again. Maybe feel sorry for yourself a little bit. You got to build some good habits. Whether it results in a win or not, you got to build some habits. So what's the point of playing the rest of the season if every time things get tough, we're going to cave in like this?
Well, I thought, to be honest, they did really well to get back to where they were before the timeout, but we highlighted it from here. The zone works well, but Adelaide are going to figure it out eventually. They did. You got to get out of it a lot quicker than just now. As soon as you see that they start to knock down shots and get their offense set, get back to man or get back to something else. Adelaide just picked it apart. It's an offensive foul on Sam Froling. It's his second one.
Brad Rosen, what did CJ Bruton have to say at the timeout?
Well, I did listen to Brisbane, and he was very happy. He just said, keep it going. But I want to talk about that man on the screen right now, Peyton Seaver. He came off there after that timeout, and he looked at the physio and sort of said, I'm cramping. I need some help here. So he's being subbed out. But going back to the Brisbane question, very happy from CJ Bruton.
Call for a sub? What?
Well, he had calf issues as well last season. And that could potentially be a delayed game. Morning. It's been a hot topic. And in the end, it's probably a smart decision because he has had some calf issues last year and over his last couple of professional seasons. So just making sure he doesn't do anything silly.
If anybody needs a sub, it's him. Because the way he's running around, but I wouldn't want that sub to be too long. And I don't know. Might have to ask Brad. Have you ever in your life, in your natural life, called for a sub to take yourself out of the game?
Well, let me start by saying if I'm in the game, I'm really happy, right? But to answer your question, absolutely not. You never want a substitution until that has gone zero, so no way.
I'm a little bit in his natural life. What about his unnatural life? What's going on there?
Well, you know.
Well, to be honest with you, my wife says I'm unnatural all the time. But to be honest, no, I'd never call us up.
Now, coming up tonight, as part of the doubleheader, this will be an absolute beauty. The Perth Wildcats taking on the Tasmania Jack Jumpers. And the Jack Jumpers, of course, earlier in the season had that big win over the Perth Wildcats. They've lost their past for Perth, and you'd expect a big response tonight. So that match is coming up straight after this one.
It's a revenge game. Well, the Wildcats, they got handily done by last time they played the Jack Jumpers.
Plenty of questions being asked about the Wildcats right now. They got to come up with some answers.
See there, one Swaka Bullock. This is going to continue to hurt because they were at one point in this fourth quarter looked like they were coming back and could make a game of it. So this right now has been looked at, this foul, and been upgraded.
An unsportsmanlike foul.
Well, 17 days between games. It's an opportunity, as you mentioned, Damon. Maybe that is a lot of sessions with Volk. Maybe it is. That's something that's happened in the past. You see teams have FIBA break, go to MMA, go to boxing, do these boot camps, do anything, just to try something different. Because they've had patches where they've looked really good tonight. Peyton Seaver's been excellent. I think Mathiang's been really good off the bench. Tyler Harvey got going. A 3-minute patch where Adelaide just absolutely put them to the sword.
36 is on a 24 run here. A steal from Mango. He's fouled on his way to the bucket. Good example for kids watching at home as well. When you disagree with the referee, the exchange between Mango and the ref moments ago, where obviously they weren't on the same page, but shake of hands in the aftermath and a move on.
Yeah, there you
Business.
go. Yeah, a cordial exchange of opinion. That's what we need to see more of. Not all this hostility. You know, at the start of NBL 23,
Here it is. Nico Fernandez just having a chat with Mango Mathiang and just saying, I appreciate the kind words.
appreciate the civility. We always knew at the start of the year, NBL 23, somebody was going to get the wooden spoon. The 10th spot was up for grabs. Right now, it's looking like the Hawks are headed towards that spoon. That is incentive. If nothing else happens for the rest of this season, damn it, we ain't coming last. That's got to be the overall message over these next 17 days. That it is.
Challenge, they fought off the challenge, and now they're just putting the Hawks to the sword. Harvey and Franks, so prolific. Chuck in DJ, who's come up with 28 points tonight as well. Not count for Lauren Harris.
These are not junk minutes for the 36ers. Even though Mitch McCann is out there and Drimmett,
He won't be
looks
long.
like they're coming off now. But like for Kai Sotto, every minute is a valuable minute. I'd like to see him just being more aggressive, trying to post up this thing. He's too easily pushed off the block. And I'm sure CJ has spoken to him about this, but this is an aggression that he needs to start to show sooner than later.
Now, Damon, you mentioned the Hawks and their struggles. They're going to fall to another loss here. When they come back from the fever break, 20th of November, they played the Kings in the Freeway Series. So that's an almighty test, and it doesn't get any easier, as it won't, the whole NBL season. They play the Phoenix, who now look like a legitimate title contender at full strength. Then welcome Melbourne United back home, who potentially may have turned a corner over there last weekend. Then play the Phoenix again, then the Taipans, and then Sydney.
So you're telling me that, what are you saying, Pete? Just spit it out.
Well, what I'm saying is everything is going to have to improve.
No more wins? Say it, Pete.
You're going to struggle with the way they've been playing to find a team they can really go up and win against the way other teams are playing. If they continue to play like this.
That's right.
I think he might be sitting next to a mildly frustrated Hawks championship.
No doubt.
Woolies.
Well, again, they've shown the flashes, though. We saw it at the start of the third, end of the third, start of the fourth. Whether they were in the zone just a little too long because Adelaide are too good of a team to figure it out, the flashes are there. And as Sam Froling has said in the media in the past couple of weeks, they've shown these different flashes of where they can be good. It's just about putting it all together. And they've got a new roster. Let's not forget, you lost Brian Gorgian. Jacob Jacomas came in. He's going to take some learnings from Gorgian, want to do it his own way, as he should. They also lost 55 points of their 88 points per game last season. That is a massive overhaul to have to come in and try and say, okay, we lost Avery Retar-Mays, Justinian Jessup, we lost Antonius Cleveland, we lost Duaubrey. 4 of their main 5 guys they've had to replace. It's never going to be easy.
3-point attempt from Galloway.
This is when you find out a lot about yourself. This is when character reveals itself, people, when things are tough. And it's times like this that the Hawks need to show some resilience, something to build off of. We need some type of momentum. I catch myself saying we every now and then. Al, I'm sorry, Alice. I got a little bit of Hawk blood still in me.
Of course you do. You never lose it. Imagine the bonds created, both of you winning championships, are lifelong bonds that you have with your teammates and the club that you played for.
Well, that's what I'm talking about with the fever break. The year we won in 2018, we lost by 42 on the home floor before a fever break to Perth. 2 days later, we were in MMA, then we were boxing, just to do everything. We basically got beat up for a couple of weeks and we turned the season around. So either maybe it's Volk, and maybe it's you, Damon, because you've been doing some wild stuff yourself in your own time. Maybe you got to fly up there and take it through a couple of sessions.
Hey, Campbell, get me down there, man. I got some ideas for some training stuff.
There's the headline. NBL Championship winners call on Illawarra Hawks to beat the crap out of each other for 17 days to ignite their season. Love it.
You'll never catch me with a workout. What I've heard from you. I mean, I'm not sleeping right now as it is, but I'm not going to be getting up and running, that's for sure.
Don't go over the line. Systematic.
Hey, Pete, listen to that. I love it when they call me Big Papa. Peter Hooley. That's his theme music now, people.
Colby Gack to George King. Oh, it's Ronya.
That's going to count. I love the hustle. And I'll be thinking of you when little one is up screaming at 4:30 in the morning and you'll be running 32 kilometres. I'll be having a little think. I think there'll be 3 seconds during the tears where I'm like, man, I'd just love to be where Damon is. And then I realise you're absolutely insane for what you're doing, and I'll be happy to be looking after a crying baby.
Well, if Damon really wants to punish himself, perhaps he could take the newborn on the 32-kilometre run at 4:30 a.m. in the morning, Pete. And congratulations on behalf of the entire team.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic moment for parents when the first arrives, even if it is a bit of a punish early on. Pete, I know you're loving every second of it, so congratulations to you and your partner. So this has been a really difficult night again for the Hawks to digest. They showed glimpses, but the 36ers get the job done. Even without Craig Randall, they find some pretty special performances at the offensive end tonight. Daniel Johnson, 28 points. Robert Franks, 25 points. And a 96-80 win for the Adelaide 36ers over the Illawarra Hawks. It's exactly what CJ Brute would have been hoping for. Their third win of the season from 6 matches, so they square the ledger. We know about the talent on their roster. It's now about producing on a consistent basis for them.
That's exactly right. 36ers are loaded, like with everybody's preseason pick to win the whole thing. But as everybody knows, the game is not played on paper, and they need to be able to gel as a team. And today, without Craig, without the leading scorer being out there, they show glimpses of looking really good, moving the ball, getting everybody going to their main strengths. It's just now of incorporating Craig, and Craig maybe taking some sacrifices for here and there, so everybody can still get a chance, Pete, to eat.
And impressive, Pete, because the Adelaide 36ers were squarely challenged by the Hawks as that second half was unfolding. They produced their highest scoring final quarter of the season.
Well, again, they're missing their leading scorer, the league's leading scorer, and they still put up 96. That just speaks to the depth of talent they have, especially offensive talent, and they're going to continue to get better. They're going to continue to build, and they're going to also continue to have moments where their backs are against the wall and things aren't going well.